B Energy International. Sarah, thank you for joining us. What are the fundamentals underpinning this global oil market right now?
Great question to start with. I do remember that we have this discussion of fundamentals multiple times together at your program, and we had looked at how different market projections and predictions, which are basically frameworks of interpreting data, had divergence, for instance, in the case of OPEC and IEA. We also covered sentiments, which is market psychology, and how the market sentiments leaned towards some of these framework or projections over the other one. Like, for instance, at the time of high geopolitical risks last year, that market was mostly focused on lower demand. But now we are at the phase that I call it a step zero, which it's not anymore about divergence between different projections, but is not knowing what facts are. We don't know. The market doesn't know what most of the facts actually are. And this is mostly due to rapid and often contradictory policy shift in Washington, D.C., which it's very hard to determine and understand which ones are actually negotiations tools and which ones are actual policies and how it's going to impact the market fundamentals.
Yeah, and those questions clearly remain. Maybe we'll get some more clarity next week after the tariffs that President Trump is expected to unveil. What is your expectation, though, at this point? What are you modelling, Sarah, in terms of the constraints on supply from tariffs versus the impact on demand for softer growth?
So naturally, the tariffs could have two different impacts on the fundamentals. One is the inflationary factor and negative impact on the demand, but it also, for producers, let's say in the United States, it increases their capital costs. So that is, again, not helping, is de-incentivizing the investment, increases their cautious for investment, especially at the time that also the administration, while is trying to encourage the producers in the U.S. to produce more oil and other resources, energy resources, they're targeting low oil prices of around $50, which, again, this is counterintuitive. So I would say, especially for U.S. investors, this is an extreme uncertain time. And it's very hard to have long-term investment, at least this year, or medium-term investment plan in this uncertain time.
How much clarity do we have on China's forward-looking demand for oil, Sarah?
So again, this year, most of the projections and expectation is that Chinese demand is not going, at least for, let's say, some of the liquids like gasoline has already peaked. They're expecting that as we are moving toward passing the summer, which naturally the demand increases, toward the fourth quarter, the demand, especially for China, is going to reduce a bit. If the tariffs go in place, U.S. economy might start reducing and, again, having low demand. So I would say, again, there are a lot of shifts, especially in terms of geopolitics. Things change. Things are moving so fast. I would say among all these chaotic uncertainty and environment, OPEC remains the anchor of certainty, and this lies within their measured decisions, regular monitoring the market, and the production management that is very cautious. So I would say that that's the only anchor of certainty as of now, that we can look into this extremely uncertain market, that all this uncertainty, as I said, it lies within what are the facts.
Okay. So OPEC is providing that anchor. So the assumption being that OPEC, they go ahead then, Sarah, with their plans to increase output next month. You're pretty convinced that plan is still in place?
If things doesn't change tomorrow or day after tomorrow, of course, if things are same as in terms of market fundamentals, yes, the decisions that OPEC has, which was even before set before months before the new administration take office, yes, going in terms of what has been planned. But again, I would say that certainty that comes from OPEC and its stabilizing influence is because they regularly monitor the market, and the decisions are market driven. So if things don't change drastically regarding to market fundamentals, yes, I would expect that.
OK, always valuable insight. Sarah Vakshuri, CSVB Energy International, founder and president. Thank you very